Hi everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much for watching. So this is going to be my sample roulette finale. You can go check out my intro video for this in case you missed it, but this is kind of my precursor to my hashtag 365 days of samples, which I will be introducing to you guys very soon. So what this was I chose 10 samples at random from my giant sample box, and then I attempted to use them. So I decided to start a notebook, and I'm going to keep this going with my hashtag 365 days of samples. I'm not going to keep saying hashtag, I'm just going to call it like my 365 days of samples or something. But I have 3 categories in my notebook, and I have possible repurchases, try again, and pass. And I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but possible repurchases is exactly that. These are things that I would possibly repurchase in the full size. Try again would be items that I need to try a sample or want to try a sample again before I purchase the full size. And the pass is items that I could just tell from the sample were not right for me. So from my sample roulette, I have 3 possible repurchases. The first one is from Giorgio Armani, and this is the Fluid Sheer. Now these samples are not gonna look the prettiest because of the packaging. It's just kind of the way that they are. Foil packages, once they've been used, are kind of messy, so I apologize for that. But when I had done the intro video for this, I thought this was a foundation because I'm pretty sure I have foundation samples, and I thought this was going to be like a much too dark foundation sample. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to make this work. And then this lovely person commented, I'm sorry I don't have the name in front of me, but if you're watching, thank you, who said that this is more like a liquid highlighter thing that you can mix with foundation. So with that information in mind, that's exactly what I did when I opened this. I got about 2-3 uses out of this foil packet, and I mixed it with my NYX foundation because I knew that foundation was a direct color match for me. I didn't have to try and mix a whole bunch of other things. I didn't want to get into like a whole chemistry thing where I was like mixing a whole bunch of stuff like I do with my Cover FX stuff. Anyway, so I mixed that with my NYX foundation, and it was so beautiful. I've been struggling to find a foundation that would give me a little bit of a glow because I find that sometimes those kind of foundations are, end up looking a little patchy on me. And mixing the NYX foundation, which is a fairly matte, like medium coverage foundation, this stuff was gorgeous. I was obsessed with it. I almost wanted to repurchase it immediately. You know, it's quite expensive, which is one of the things that held me off, but I've also got a lot of liquid highlighter type things that I should play around with. But this is definitely something that once those other liquid highlighters are gone, I would buy for mixing with my foundation just to bring that glow. The second possible repurchase surprised me, honestly, and this is the Fresh Soy Face Cleanser. And I got about 2 uses out of this, but the first time I used it, I was amazed at how clean my skin felt. For some reason, I've shied away from using this cleanser. I don't know, I had something in my mind about it. I had already decided I wasn't gonna like it for some reason. And there have been a few fresh sets that I've shied away from because it included this. And I was like, I'm not gonna use it. It's got a full size of this cleanser. I'm not gonna use that cleanser, but I want everything else in it. And now after trying this cleanser, I'm like, oh my God, I should have bought those sets. I really would have used everything. So as I've mentioned many times in videos, I have a lot of cleansers. So that's why it's a possible repurchase. When I've gone through more of my cleansers, this is one that I would probably pick up. I'm definitely if I can get it in one of those value sets, simply because I found it was so effective and so gentle. I got a Clarisonic finally for Christmas, and I think that this could probably work really well with it. So I'm very happy with this. I hope I have more samples of this in my sample box, and I think I might. The last of my possible repurchases is the Bumble & Bumble Hairdresser's Invisible Oil Shampoo. I use the shampoo. I don't use a lot of shampoo compared to conditioner, so I got about 3 or 4 uses out of this sample pack because I really only concentrate the shampoo around my roots, and I loved this stuff. I'm not surprised that I loved it because I really love Bumble & Bumble, but I did find that it was really light and it cleansed my hair very well. It didn't leave it feeling weighted down. Sometimes with more oily shampoos it can do that. My hair is kind of like combination hair, like my face, so the roots can get oily while the ends are super dry, and I was nervous about using it. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it with my hair, but then I ended up loving it. So my goal with my shampoos are not to have a ton of shampoos to go through. I only need a couple because I like to rotate them. So I have a couple to finish off, and I got a couple of new ones for Christmas, and then I think I'm going to throw this one into the rotation because it worked so well. I only have one sample for my try again category, and that is the Benefit Puff Off, which didn't have a lot of product in here. It's like on this giant card. Benefit's always so pretty, but the sample itself, like there wasn't a whole lot there. I only got to use it once, and I wasn't quite sure what it was at first. I had to look it up. You can see the packaging on the back of the cardboard here, what it looks like, and it's a cooling under eye product that really made my under eyes feel really good. But where I only got one use out of it, I wasn't sure if it's one of those products that you use once and it's great, and then you buy it and it's like, oh, with repeated use, like your skin gets used to it and it doesn't have the same effect. I've had that happen to me a few times with skincare things where I've only used it once, liked it, bought the full size, and then my skin got used to it so quickly that it didn't do what it was supposed to do. So I like it. I don't have anything like this. I really liked how cooling it was, and I've been really conscious about my under eye area. So I want to get another sample of this to give it another shot, and then I would possibly purchase it to add to my skincare regime. So the past category has the most of my samples, which is not really a surprise. The first product was a surprise to me, and that's the Bumble Mobile Hairdresser's Invisible Oil Conditioner. I was almost certain I was going to fall in love with this conditioner and want to purchase it immediately. And I used it, and it did nothing. I had to immediately follow it with another conditioner because my hair was still so dry and hard to manage. Like I could tell when it was still wet. I was like, this did nothing. This did nothing for my hair at all. I used the whole packet once, and I still had to follow it with a bunch of another conditioner. So that's when I went, nope, this is not for me. It is like a lightweight conditioner, but I thought because of all of the oils in it, I thought it would be more moisturizing, more hydrating for my hair. No, so this is a big old pass. From luck of the draw, I had drawn two of these jumbo YSL Touche Eclat samples. And what it was is 3 different shades. There was number 1, which was a pinky shade, number 2, which was sort of yellow, and 4.5, which was a much darker. And as you can see, I didn't use 4.5 that much, but I did try to use these as much as I could. I got probably about 2 to 3 uses from each set. The dark was harder to use. What I ended up using this for, because it obviously wasn't going to be something I could highlight or conceal with, because that's what Touche Eclat is, in case you didn't know what that was. It's kind of like this iconic cult product. I don't even know if you would call it cult, because I think it's one of those products that like almost everybody who's into makeup has heard of. And I had almost purchased this so many times because I heard so many good things about it, where people said it makes you look so awake and so bright, and there was nothing like it. And it tells you like on the card too some uses for it. So it shows like it can erase fatigue, it highlights, you can use it around your lips to make your lips look bigger, you can put it there under your eyes to brighten your eyes. I tried all of these methods using 1 and 2 various times in various spots, and I hated it. I honestly hated it. On my notepad where I was writing it, I actually put a note to myself saying, seriously, do not repurchase this, because it dried so crustily, I guess. It's the only word I can think of, because that's what it looked like. It just looked crusty. It just gathered on spots around my eyes and around my nose and around my lips, and everywhere this product was, it just dried. It looked like I had a lot of dry skin in that area. No matter what I applied with it on top of, no matter what I put on top of it, if I left it alone, if I set it, it always looked dry. It made my skin look so much older than it was. I've got so many concealers that make my face look so much brighter and youthful than this stuff does. So I'm honestly so thankful I managed to draw both of these at the same time. So I got many uses out of it all at once. So I could kind of really get a good idea of what this product was like. And I can very confidently say this is not for me. The next product is from L'Occitane. And this is the Milk Concentrate, and this is basically a body lotion. I had about five uses or so in this foil pack because it's a pretty generous sized packet. I am not a body lotion person. It was a good body lotion. I liked that it didn't have a really overpowering scent. It absorbed fairly quickly, but honestly, I don't use these products, which is why it's a pass for me. It wasn't that it was a bad product. I would definitely recommend this to people who like body lotions. It's just not for me. The Tom Ford Neroli Portofino, as you can see here, I didn't use this. I used this once, and that is because I found out that this is a men's cologne. I sprayed it once and I was like, this smells really dark and heavy, and I googled it and it said it was a men's cologne, and that's what I got really confused because nowhere on the packaging does it say that. I don't know how well that it's reflective gold, but it says Tom Ford Neroli Portofino Eau de Parfum. It doesn't say anything about a cologne. It doesn't say anything about men's anywhere. I had no idea, so I have nobody I don't think is going to use this. Then my last two products, which were more of a deluxe size sample, had their own fancy packaging. The Vasanti Detox Purifying Facial Cleanser. Used this a few times, kept it in the shower, used it. Meh. Like, I liked the fresh one because it made my face feel so clean. I really liked the texture of it. This stuff was like, it worked in a pinch, but definitely wasn't my favorite. And lastly, the Bumble and Bumble Full Potential Spray. This is supposed to be a hair preserving booster spray, and quite honestly, I lost a lot more hair while using this than without. And I am going through that whole post-pregnancy hair loss thing where I am losing a lot of hair, but it like tripled using this stuff compared to how it had been. So I got really terrified and I stopped using it because I don't want to deal with that. My hair is thin enough to begin with, so this kind of scared me. I am not going to be going anywhere near this product. So that is my wrap up for my sample roulette project. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will be doing my intro for my 365 days of samples very soon, and I hope you guys will tune in for that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.